Mick Box.
Where the hell did you lot come from? It was empty a second time ago. Let me go.
From England just to see you.
Yeah? Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Right, where to start? At the beginning I know, but I got the call to do this, and I was at a shop in London, just mulling around stuff, you know, and got the call, would you like to come to the guitar clinic? I went, that'd be a laugh, yeah, great, fantastic. So I put the phone down, got home and went, what have I done? I've never done one of these before. And so I thought I'll get on YouTube, right, and looked at all the other guitar clinic things and all that stuff, and everyone does lots of soloing, don't they? They solo. Did I mention solo? Solo. Which is fantastic. But I think in my world, you know, there's a lot more to the guitar than just soloing. You know, you've got to have great solos, but you've got to have great context in the song and make the song work. And the song is the most important thing. There's no having a great solo, it doesn't fit the song, because it'll make the song sound terrible. You know, so my whole thing is to get the right part in the right song at all times. And if it needs a long solo, great. If it needs a short solo, that's great too. But the context of the song's got to have arpeggios, you know, parallel chords, single note stuff, you know, everything, which I'll try and show you. We're going to start with a song off of a new album called Outsider. Mr. Plugton. And it's very nervous, isn't it, you know, being here all on my own, because I usually got a band, but as luck will have it, I've got the band in here and the iPad, so they're all still with me. Anyway, we're going to do a song called The Law, and then actually I should say at the end of this, there's a very quiet bit. Don't get nervous. It does get loud again, but there is a quiet bit, you know, and I think I want to explain that in as much as, you know, what we do in our life is communication. Communication's everything, whether it be music, talking, everything, the whole thing as a whole, you know, and so we, I can't just try to get the audience really involved in what we do. And so at the end of the song, that's one of the parts where we do. So I'll tell you where it is, you don't have to join in, I'll just tell you where it is. And then I strike the rock star pose and we finish the song. All right. So hopefully, with all the technique, this will all go right. One second. Please, go. too early for questions. Should we do another song? Yeah, this is, I don't know, it's got a lot of energy in it. And it's double bass drum thing, you know, so we'll go through that and then we'll have a little chat after that, yeah? This is a song called The Outside of the title of the track. 2 plugs. I'm not very good at this. I guess we want to talk about something. Should we start with gear? Oh, you've already got a question already?
Yeah.
Fire it away.
We all know that, you know, original British rock band Uriah Heep were all about pounding rock and all the rest of it, but you're also about very amazingly beautiful melodies like July Morning from Look at Yourself. So,
yeah, very. It was a good observation. That's fantastic. I mean, melody is everything. I think where we started today, I think the tune is everything. The tune is what people go away, they sing, they remember, you know, with the lyrics, you know, and solos and all the rest of it are on top of that, you know, it's the cream on top, you know, but generally it's the song and the melodies, you say, the melodies have to be strong to be memorable, and luckily enough, we've had enough good songs over many, many years that stood the test of time that people still like hearing in the live arena, and that's because of their great songs and good melodies. Simple as that. Okay, I was going to talk. Oh, one over there. Hello, mate. I hope I can hear you. 'Cause I'm deaf as a post up here.
I have a gear question
Yes.
about your fantastic wow sound and your solos. Can you run through?
Elaborate on that, yeah?
Elaborate on how you
Well, how long we got? I think back in the 70s, there was a Jeff Beck, who's still my favourite guitarist of all time. Yeah, nobody can touch him. They get very close, but he just does it for me. You know, he's the guy that sends the hairs up and down, and there's this, you know, and all that sort of stuff. You get that emotion from his playing. But he had an album out called Truth, with Rod Stewart singing, funny enough, and to be honest, that's the best Rod Stewart ever sang in that band. It was a fantastic album, and there's wah-wah all over it. He made it talk, he made it sing, he made it cry, he made it, you know, aggressive, he made it horrible noises, nice noises, all through the wah-wah, and it touched a nerve with me, you know, and from that I ran straight out and bought one. But this is for me, you know, it was still talking the way I... So eventually, you know, by getting into it, over the years, it's sort of grown on me and has become part of my style, if you like. And I use it in various ways. I mean, there's obviously the wah function, which is, you know, what it's built for. But I use it when I'm expressing, bending notes up. I put the wah down as well, and they kind of hit a lovely sweet spot. And so I use it that way. I mean, in Uriah Heep, we've got Hammond organ and bass over there. Very loud. Right, and they're taking up all them bass frequencies, you know, so when I'm playing one note solo things, it's very hard to cut through. So I use the wah-wah as a little treble top cut through, really, as well. So it's kind of become everything I do. I mean, I sit down and play. It's really funny when in the studio we do solos and things, and there's very few I haven't done without the wah-wah of late. And you sit down with the producer, and he says, "Well, try it without the wah-wah. You play a solo. Try it with the wah-wah." He knows what one's best because it's expressive. It's something that just works for me, you know. And so it's become a big part of it. In fact, I'm trying to market some shoes with wah-wahs in, so I can walk around a wah-wah all the time, and I can be tall for once. No, but that's where it all came from. Yeah, Jeff Beck, God bless him.
Which wah are you using?
A standard Jim Dunlop, Crybaby, yeah. Nothing special done to it at all. I don't think there's anything you need to do to it. He's got it right the first time, you know, and I've stayed with them for years and years and years. Funny enough, they've never sponsored me. They've never given me one for nothing. But I still use them, so that's testament indeed, isn't it? You know, I still use it and I buy them. Okay. Any more questions? Yes, mate.
What motivated you back in '68 when you started the band to make that new sound that became heavy metal alongside Black Sabbath, and so on? Did you start out with the idea, or was it a part of a creative process?
I think it was a bit of a revolution that was happening. You know, we were being rebels because prior to all those bands, it was very sweet melodies, sweet songs, sweet harmonies. People in suits and ties, little combos behind them, doing little dance moves. You know, and we came out and went, we're not having any of that, we're knocking it on its head, you know. And we came out with the long hair, very rebellious, and you know, at the time we're using this today because it's a small room, but normally you're getting stacks and stacks and stacks, you know. And we kind of built it up though, and the amps weren't loud enough, so we went and saw, God bless him, Jim Marshall, and he made bigger amps and bigger stages for us and put into the amps, so we had more valves, more volume, and it just ran away with itself, you know. But I think the most important thing in those days, and I have to say this, is that, and I think that's why the music has endured, is because every one of those people you mentioned, every person was an individual. You know, I mean, for instance, you've got, I didn't play like Richie Blackmore, Richie didn't play like Tony Iommi, Tony Iommi didn't play like, Paul Kossoff or any of those guys, you know. Everyone was individual, and so were the bass players, so were the keyboard players, so were the singers. And some of those parts gave every band their particular sound, you know, and I think that's very important. I think that's missing a bit today because it's like a jigsaw puzzle. In those days, you put that piece there and it would never fit, because they were too individual. But nowadays you can go like this and then everyone fits because they're all learning the same thing, and there's no sort of individuals breaking through at the moment, you know, which is a shame, because they go into guitar school I'm going on a bit, I'm sorry about this. You go into the guitar school, right, and 2 years later you come out playing fantastic guitar, but you play like everyone else. There's been no attention in that learning process to the individual. And if I have to say anything to any guitarist to push them forward, is to try and find your own individual thing, you know, the thing that works for you, that stands you apart. And it doesn't have to be image all the time, you know, it can just be your sound and how you approach things, how you write things, you know. And I think that's why, you know, all those bands are still around today and people still love their music. And thank you very much, because we are still around today. It's fantastic. Any more questions here, or should we move on? You want to go about the gear?
Your guitar, what kind of guitar is that?
Ah, there's the man, eh? Well, this is a Carparelli guitar. Carparelli. Really, yeah. You can get them on the website. And they're fantastic guitars. I'll tell you what it is. I've been a Gibson man all my life, Les Paul Customs and Black Beauties, and I love them. But the airlines don't love them as much as I do. And I used to get them out of gigs, and there'd be a broken, you know, tuning peg or a scratch somewhere, or this bent, or the pickup, you know, falling inside the guitar and stuff. So I was getting really frustrated about that. So I was looking for a company that I could work with. That you know, the guitars were great, and I found this guy on the website, and I found out a guy called Mike Carparelli, and he sent me over one of the guitars. Now I've been sent many guitars because people say, you know, in my position, I've been lucky enough. People say, well, you use our guitars, you know, so they give you them. You know, lovely, but they give them to you. But I usually say to my guitar tech, all right, I'll put it on for 2 numbers, then give me back the Gibson. and that happened many times with many guitars, and I won't go into other companies, but that's what it was to me. But I said the same thing to the Carparelli, and I kept it on for 3 weeks. And I said, I think I've found a replacement. And then I've been working with Mike Carparelli since then, and we have a very close relationship, and he's just knocking out a signature model for me, which will be in my home sometime next week, I think. And so it's really lovely, you know, and they're great guitars. They're made well. He's got a great heart. He does it with great feeling, you know. It's not just a machine happening over there, you know. He does it with deep feeling, which is great. So it works very well for me, you know. And strings, if you want to know about that, rotor sound strings, they're called rotor sound pink. Wasn't happy about the word pink. But they are great strings. Pickups, I do put an extra pickup in. I put the Jeff Beck trem bucker in here for this, and it just works very well with it. The spacings are just perfect for, you know, underneath the strings, where it allows the strings to be amplified in the correct way, which is really good. Right arm guitar straps from Spain, lovely, and on it goes, you know. But this is the whole, really. This is it, you know. We don't try and overcomplicate it. I don't try and get too many pedals on the floor, because you end up tap dancing instead of playing guitar. And I ain't a good dancer. My wife can contest to that. Anyway, if we move on to more music, the one more song off of Outsider, 3 plugs, fantastic. I'm doing a good job here. I hope you go and buy it. This song, I picked it simply because of its simplicity. I think people try and write things, write riffs. I know you guys write riffs and stuff, and it can get really complicated and stuff, you know, and that's lovely, but sometimes it's in its simplicity that works, and it's more powerful. I mean, for instance, Gypsy, right? I mean, it's just a little, just the A and the D, called, you know, as a power chord. You know. Fantastic. It just touches you, you know. But it's not complicated, is it? It's not like a major riff, you know. So never be afraid of going the simple route, because sometimes it's more powerful. Now this again is one of those examples, because the riff is single notes down and up. Very simple. But if the bass and the guitar do it together and it's on a shuffle, it's very powerful. Very, very powerful. So that works on those levels. Also the beginning riff is just 2 notes. If I turned up the amp, it sounds very Chinese. But you know, the way I play it is nowhere near Chinese. But you know, you just think simplistic sometimes, and I think, you know, I think with all the stuff that goes on nowadays, you've got to take one step back and just look at it a bit more clearly. And this is a good example of that. Oh, I forgot about this. I used to do an intro to this. I still do. It's on the record, but I can't do that and that together. And what I normally do is I do this intro. It's loud. When I'm doing it, you get all the crowd going. See, it's another connection, another communication thing, right? And then Davey comes over to me, our bass player, and he swells up a big A. He's got a little bottom end comes up like that, you know. He's got one of them pedals that makes bottom ends really come up. And then we walk over to Russ and he counts us in. So we're at that point now, the counting. nice little note for the music. The thing about that solo is, and also guitarist, I think you just got to be aware of what the bass player and the drummer are doing. you know, sometimes you get locked in your own world and you lose yourself, but be aware of what's behind you and what's carrying on, because if you notice on part of that solo, I did a... Let's go with the bass drums, it makes it more powerful. So the solo itself is rolling, and then you lock into that with the bass playing the drum, and it really lifts, you know, and drives it, you know. So it's very important to be aware of who you're playing with, because it's very, very important, very important. Any more questions? Okay, mate, you're there.
Yeah, what gauge strings do you use?
9 to 42.
Okay.
Yeah, straight set, no hybrid or anything like that.
Did you use heavier strings before and go down?
No, just the normal 9 to 42 sets, you know, there's no hybrid, there's no heavy lows and high highs and all that.
Okay.
I don't bother with that. Yes, mate.
Has there been issued any books with where you can see how you play parts in Uriah Heep?
Funny enough, it's one of those things that escaped us, no. Maybe it's something we should do.
Yeah.
Well, this is all very new, you know, so maybe we'll do more of these, you know, I don't know. See how successful it is, you know. I don't know. You wouldn't think that, you know, this many years in the business, there's new things to do, and there are indeed. Yes, my friend.
What kind of overdrive do you use? Is it just the arm crank all the way? Or?
Well, sorry, what kind of?
Overdrive or distortion pedals?
Overdrive. Oh, that's a good question. Marshall Governor.
Hey.
Yeah. I use that in anything I plug into, basically, and then I've got my Marshall. No, it's a good pedal. It overdrives in the right way, and it doesn't choke. You know, it's very open, which is good. And it's just everything I need. Yeah, I don't have to look any further. But there again, it's the old one. They did release new ones, didn't they? The silver one.
Yeah,
They're not so good. They're not so good. It's the old black one here. Yeah. You're welcome to come and have a look at it later. Yeah, sure.
Is the one that get more used?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The best by test. Yes, mate.
Yeah, I think when I listen to both Deep Purple and Uriah Heep, and when I listen to the later twin guitar heavy metal bands, I often have a feeling that in Deep Purple and Uriah Heep you have the duel between the guitarist and the, what we call it, organ, keyboard player. Was it that something you created in the music, that the keyboard has to be a partner to the guitar, or the other way around?
Well, what came for us, we were when we first went to the studio to do our first album, Very, Very, Very Humble. We actually were a four-piece called Spice. I know, the Spice Boys before the Spice Girls. How bad's that? Right, so anyway, we went in and started, you know the songs. And we went in the studio and we started working up the songs, you know, and we felt when we heard them come back, we needed to embellish them with some keyboards to get the right colours out of the music, and which we did. And I was also a big Vanilla Fudge fan. I loved them, you know, and so the Hammond organ was the first choice of instrument to come in and join us in our musical template, simply because it's one of those instruments that can be very gentle, romantic, and it can be very aggressive and nasty, and it can cover every nuance of our music, you know, and fit in very well. So that's how it started. But you know, if you're talking about Deep Purple and us in competition, it wasn't any competition at all. We were totally in different worlds. The only similarities we had really was that we were playing rock, and we both had Hammond organ. You know, we always found our identity to be, you know, my wah-wah guitar, and the fact we had five people singing. So our 5-part harmonies that we used almost as an instrument, another instrument, became our, you know, what stood us apart from those other bands, because all those other bands had one singer. Heep always had 5, you know, and we still use that today, yeah. As you can hear with all these tracks, all that high harmony stuff is what I normally do. So it's a bit weird that I'm playing guitar and not singing those high harmonies, because they kind of trigger each other off, you know, when you're live, you know. But the high harmony stuff it's got a story on its own, because when we go in the studio, the producer says, look, you'll come around the microphone like this, right, and we'll get our parts on the keyboard, ready to sing, come through there. One run through it, it's, okay, that sounded good. Mick, can you move back? Can you other guys move forward, move in? It goes on for an hour. Mick, can you move? I'm in another postcode. Because it's so high and shrill, you know what I mean? So eventually what we have to do is do it all individually, because that way is the only way we can mix it, and it's not quite so cost effective if you do it around one microphone. It's all done, isn't it, in seconds, you know. You've got to do 4 times. So anyhow, that's the harmony stuff. Sorry, Johnny, yes.
Do you realise that you have mostly influenced bands like Queen and things like that, and other bands like that with the high harmonies?
Oh yeah, they're very vocal about that, yeah. Sorry, vocal, yes. Yeah, very much so, yeah. And what a pleasure that is, you know. In fact, I met Brian May, not recently, but a few months ago, at a show, and he came in the dressing room, and it was fun. It was great. He was a great guy, you know, and yeah, they're very open about, you know, where they got their influences from, yeah. Which is good, because we brought harmony from being really sweet and nice to really powerful, and have its own, dare I say, voice. But it is, you know.
I think you're Roger Taylor's uncle or something. Sorry.
That's all right. Now, another song then, yeah, what? Yeah? Mr. Mixer Man, if you could just put the guitar up a little bit on the solos, that would be great, just on this one, because it's a very short solo in the middle, long one at the end, lots of arpeggios in between, which are very difficult to do, because normally I have a clean setting on my equipment. I go, dick, nice, clean, chorusy sound. I've got to try and temper it down, not be too obnoxious with it. And but anyway, it's a song that starts with Mr. Phil Lansden on the keyboards. He's in there.
You shrunk him.
You all right, Phil? I'm just trying to get you, mate. It's a song called Between Two Worlds, in case you're wondering there. It's a great song because it was written about, wouldn't it be nice if the spiritual world and the real world could meet at some stage, and all the people you've lost and loved are still in the spiritual world. You could see them for that one time, put your arm around them and have comfort that there was a better place to be. Then they would go off and you go back to the real world and carry on with safe in your heart that it's not so bad to be out there. That's what the whole thing's about. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks. Can I stay? Thank you very much for coming. Much obliged. I've got some things to sign. You want to sign it? Out and that. No problem. I'll be out here to do it, yeah? Cool. It's called communication. God bless you later. Bye.
Did you all know this?